Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominic Doherty and Drew Fazy.
And we are your local guide.
This is what looks right on my screen, but you're telling me that this is what looks right everywhere else. So
That's what we'll go with.
I don't know. I don't understand it. I just follow the rules sometimes when I feel like it. Um, So Drew, man, it's starting to feel like summer out there on the island. It's been hot the past couple days. You know, school is ticking down, and those first real weeks of summer are coming. Many consider June to be the quote unquote shoulder season. With July and August being the main event, if you will. Um, However, just because it is the shoulder season, it doesn't mean there's not a lot happening here in Ocean City. There's events all year round. Uh, in June, though, things really, really start to pick up. So you had the idea that, hey, maybe we should do an episode and let people know what's going on here in the month of June. You may not be, your vacation may not be scheduled for July or August. However, if it's a nice weekend and you feel like coming down and enjoying the salt air and the sunshine, there's plenty to do. So, I'll kick it off. I wrote an article about this and I went down and checked out the first weekend, I shouldn't say that, the first day of the farmers market at the Tabernacle. So every Wednesday, all throughout the summer, at the Tabernacle grounds between 5th and 6th Street on Asbury Avenue, there is an open air farmers market from 8 a.m. to noon. Local vendors, crafters, all kinds of stuff there for people to shop and enjoy. There's fresh produce, there's delicious desserts, homemade jellies. The Hula Grill has their food truck down at the end serving hot breakfast. Harry and Bean's coffee truck is down there. Uh, I saw a lot of local favorites: Monkey Bread, Pot of Gourmet, Ike's Crab Cakes, Dead End Bake Shop. Uh, you know, as well as vendors from all over, Doc's Pickles, Mama's Homemade, all kinds of stuff there for everyone to enjoy. So if you're in
Something
town,
for everyone at our farmers market.
yeah, if you're in town on a Wednesday, make sure you stop by there and check that out. And then if you're in town this weekend, because I'm going to publish this today, Drew, right when we're done, uh, June 6th through the 8th, you have the Ocean City Flower Show up at the Music Pier. You got commercial, amateur, kids displaying their floral arrangements. I believe it's going on right now because it's 3 o'clock while we're recording this. It's from 2 until 8 today. And then I believe it's most of the day, Saturday and Sunday at the Music Pier. So if you're up on the boardwalk, be sure to stop in and check that out. Always a great event. Maybe you'll run into me because I will be up there at some point taking pictures and putting stuff on the website.
Next up,
What else do we got going on, Drew? What else do we got going on?
next
Sorry,
up,
I totally flailed on what I was good at there. A segue.
yes, you
Segue.
did.
I flailed. Sorry, Drew. I should have set you up. Instead, I left you high and dry. So, what else do we got going on in June, Drew?
So next up, Wednesday, June 11th, 12th Street Beach from 12 to 1. The Ocean City Police Department's unmanned aircraft systems is having a drone demonstration. So that's Wednesday, June 11th from 12 to 1. I want to go to that. I think that'll be pretty cool.
Sweet. I'm penciling you in to write the story on for the OCNJlocal.com for that.
There you go.
Definitely. Awesome. No, it does. It is pretty neat. When I was walking around on the boardwalk on Memorial Day weekend, you could see them that the officers were using the drones to, scan the boardwalk, make sure everything was good, scan the beaches. It's definitely a technology that has come a long way recently. Despite all of the hysteria that they created here in New Jersey in the late winter,
Back in
early.
December and January. Yeah.
Wow, was that long ago? I thought it was
Yeah.
sooner. They are of great use to law enforcement. Uh, so,
Great tool. Great tool for them.
so another good event. We'll stick with the theme of first responders here. Is on June 14th. You have the Emergency Responder 5K. This was formerly known as Cop Chase. Can't imagine why they wanted to rebrand that one. I don't know. Seems like a smart move to me. You have the Emergency Responder 5K. All right. There's a 5K run, and there's also a 1 mile event starting on the boardwalk and finishing on the OC track. There are kids events as well too that will take place on the field. So you can register at ocnj.us/race events. So again, that's ocnj.us/race events.
Race dash events.
What would we do without you, Drew? I'm surprised your eyes saw that dash.
So I volunteered for the Cop Chase every year, and it's a great day. It's got a great vibe to it. It's really positive. They have food, they have drink, they have as you say, kids events. They have a DJ. It's really a fun time. If you're a runner of any kind, that's a good event.
Maybe I'll dust off the running shoes and bust out a 5K. I don't know.
There you
I don't
go.
know if
Tom's covering the Cop Chase. Excuse me.
I don't
The
know.
Emergency Responder 5K.
I don't know if the event will be set up long enough for me to finish. I don't know if it will, but no, that's cool. So yeah, check that out. Emergency Responder 5K. It's also great that they were able to bring everybody in to the fold and not just the police department, because all our first responders do so much here in town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, we're going to keep these themes going here, Drew. We're going to keep the theme. It's almost like the calendar segues itself. That's how great it is. Because on the next weekend, on June 21st, you have the Health, Fitness, and Wellness Expo. It's a free event that features health food, fitness classes, speakers, vendors, and so much more. And that's from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., again, at the Music Pier. So seems like fitness is the real focus here in June, at least in the first couple weeks.
And on the same day, June 21st, Saturday, is the Antique Auto Show. And that's on the Tabernacle grounds, Saturday from 9 to 2. More than 300 vintage vehicles will be on display, and then they move up to the boardwalk for a parade. And again, I've seen that, and that's pretty cool. It's a really wide range of antique cars that enter into that. That's a fun event.
Drew, what's the possibility that we would see your first car in this show? Not the actual car, but the same make and model.
So my first car was a 1973 Ford Pinto, which had the habit of blowing up when it was hit from behind. So there's probably not a lot of those vehicles left.
Man, my first car was a 1990 Ford Thunderbird Super Coupe. So I had like,
wow, T-Bird.
It was modeled after the Indy 500 pace car. Yeah,
wow.
little did I. Yeah, it was real smart to buy a 17-year-old kid a supercharged engine. Just gonna
Now
leave
I'm
it at
sure
that.
there's going to be some T-birds in that antique show. It might not be in 1990, but I'll bet there's going
Yeah,
to be some T-birds in that show.
yeah, definitely. That Ocean City, no matter what car event it is, if you can make it into town that day, you're guaranteed to see some pretty impressive vehicles. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
be sure to check that out. Um, and then the next day on Sunday, June 22nd, you have is probably the first concert of the Ocean City Pops for the summer.
I
I
believe
believe
so.
so.
Yeah,
I am not a never been to a Pops concert. Have you there, Pops?
I never have, never have been to
Wow,
concerts at the Music Pier, but never the Pops.
that surprises me. That really does. I figured you would be like a season holder up there with your
Season ticket
sharp
holder.
dress and your pinky up, drinking, your bourbon, having a good time, listening to the orchestra.
Yeah, no, never been to the Pops. No.
So two-time Tony, and it's a special concert because they're going to have some very special guests, some very accomplished Broadway singers or players. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But two-time Tony Award winner Brian Strokes
All
Mitchell.
right, you butchered that one too, buddy. It's Brian Stokes Mitchell.
So you take over, Drew, because I'm obviously.
No, you've run. I want to see this.
Oh, I appreciate it. This is like
Nobody can look away from a car wreck.
I apologize in advance to the Ocean City Pops for the dumpster fire that I am burning down here as I announce their first concert. So again, it's two-time award winner Brian Stokes Mitchell will be featured in the opening concert of the summer season. He received the Tony. I'm not even going to go there, but he'll be there.
Yep,
So if you want a special
that's a good
guest
call.
who has, won a litany of awards for his performing abilities, check that out June 22nd at the Music Pier. You can get that at oceancityvacation.com/box office. So if you're looking to see that, oceancityvacation.com/box office is where you can get tickets to see Brian Stokes Mitchell and the Ocean City Pops in their opening concert on June 22nd.
And next up, June 23rd and 24th, Monday and Tuesday, the 2025 Boardwalk Summer Concert Series starts with a big one, the Beach Boys. So the Beach
Whoa.
Boys are in town Monday and Tuesday, June 23rd and 24th, and you can get tickets at etix.com.
Now you probably remember like the Beach Boys when their music first came out.
It was a little before my time, Dom, but they were still, fairly popular through the, through the 70s and 80s. But
They've been popular forever, man. They're like a
they have
timeless classic
they
band.
started in the 60s probably was their biggest time, but by the time we got to late 60s, the 70s, I mean it was really the true rock and roll era,
Jackson Brown had taken over for you, huh?
Well, it started with the Beatles, and then you had, the Stones and the Who.
No, I'm just saying for you personally, Jackson Brown had taken over as your main music go.
Probably in the 80s,
At least for your
70s and 80s.
hairstyle. Your hairstyle, I remember.
Yeah, that was in the 70s for sure. I did model Jackson's hairdo.
Oh man. So then on June 29th, you have what's considered the official opening night of the Ocean City Pops. They will be there at 7:30 at the Music Pier. With their man, Ocean City Pops. I owe you something. Let's put it that way.
Maestro Vince Lee will take you on a whirlwind tour of the wide variety of genres that the Pops is famous for.
And again, that show starts at 7:30 on June 29th. And tickets are once again available at oceancityvacation.com/box office.
And finally, June 30th, Monday, and this is a show that's another group that has been at the Music Pier before, Killer Queen, a tribute to the music of Queen. So that's Monday the 30th at 7:00. And they're great. I've seen them. Killer Queen's awesome.
They really went to the Queen concert, Drew. Of course you went to that one. To be honest with you, I took Benny and Lucy there. Or I think I took Benny the first year they came. And he was just a little too small at the time for the loud music. It was a little bit too much for him. But they are a great show.
Yeah, they put on a great show.
Really good job. Yeah. And it's hard to match that energy of Freddie Mercury and that band for sure.
Yeah.
So
a lot going on in the month of June in Ocean City, Dom.
Yeah, we're still not even done. There's a couple other things going on. The OC Water Park, we had their GM on earlier, and they got some events coming up here in June as they start to really open up and get ramped up for the summer season. On June 26th, you have the world's largest swimming lesson. So if you want to come down, take part in an attempt to set a world record, head on down to the OC Water Park, and you can participate in the world's largest swim lesson. The next day, on June 27th, they're having a Schools Out celebration. So make sure you go down there. If you're looking for something to do with your kiddos that have been home for a week and they are all up in your business and driving you crazy, head to bring them all down to the water park and have some fun. And then on June 29th, they have a mermaid meet and greet. So Drew will be down there with coconut shells and a mermaid tail. So make sure you go and check that out because it's something that you won't want to miss. I promise.
Don't forget my ponytail.
I promise that. Anyway, like you said, Drew, there's a lot going on in June. What are you looking forward to the most? See, this is what happens when you live on the corner of a busy street and a light changes from red to green, and the person in the front, God forbid, they do not move within 5 milliseconds. You get basically the Ocean City Pops concert right in front of your house.
Which is a great time to remind everybody, you're in Ocean City, chill out.
Yeah. Slow down.
Be careful.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people coming to these events. There's going to be a lot going on. Ocean City has just announced its new parking system to help people find parking. So there'll be an article about that on the OCNJlocal.com. So be sure to check that out. Definitely help you out if you're coming down trying to attend any of these events and you don't feel like playing the, I want to call it the Russian roulette of parking, because it feels like that sometimes when you're looking for parking. So, well, thanks for tuning in. I hope this is informative. Hope you everyone has a great, safe June. And we will be back with plenty more episodes. So thanks as always for tuning in. This has been the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort.
Peace out.